Hello internet friends. In this video I am deburring the gear brace brackets. Now if you remember back to the last video, I accidentally broke my dimple die, my 3/32 male dimple die to be exact, because I wasn't paying attention, and when I put it in the squeezer to adjust it to the right height, I smashed it against the flat die, which destroyed it. Oops. So anyway, ordered a new one, and since the next step was to dimple the skin, I skipped that step till I could get a dimple die and went to the next step, which is cutting apart these gear bracket braces, and then obviously deburring them and priming them. Every step, right? You cut something apart, you deburr it, you prime it, and I always skip the step accidentally of you should dimple it too if it's going to be dimpled before you paint it. But luckily, since these are all internal parts, I don't really care about them being 100% perfect with paint because no one's ever going to see it. Alright, so that was just, a handful of pieces that I got out of the way while I'm waiting for parts to arrive. Speaking of parts arriving, remember the gear bracket? Not the gear bracket. Not the gear bracket. What is this? The seat brace bracket? Something like that. Anyway, I remembered, oh yeah, I got that and I put it together and then I quick-coated it in place. But I should probably go rivet it so I can be done with this piece. So going back, I don't know, this is probably 5 pages in the plans, and I'm putting it, putting the AN 426 AD 4-8 super long rivets in here. And for anyone that's already built a plane, you're gonna see, or you're looking right now, what the problem is. I realized that I should probably have followed the plans here, because the plans say rivet these brackets to the ribs, and this is section 25-5 for anyone that wants to go look at the plans. So it says rivet the bracket to the cover rib and then rivet the cover rib to the bulkhead, which is a great instruction that everyone should follow, because I'm about to realize there's a couple of rivets that I cannot get in since they are now, there's not enough clearance. And I'm going to spend the rest of the video trying to get that to work and messing up the rivet like 3 times. So anyway, and it's still not in. So what I did was ended up ordering a set of Cherry Max rivets to go in there. There's 4 rivets that I can't reach, and there's 2 options really. One is I could get a offset flat set to hit there. The problem is the clearance for the bucking bar is very short, and every time I tried to do it with a flat set, the bucking bar would just slip because there's not enough clearance there, and it would dork up the anyway, what I was trying to set, and then I'd have to drill it out. So I'm just going to do a Cherry Max rivet, and Cherry Max rivets can be acceptable. Really, you should tell Vans and ask. They'll probably say it's okay. The thing is, they're really expensive. So I think they're like 57 cents each. Now, in a and they were actually out of stock at Spruce, so hopefully they get some in stock, because they said they'd get some on Monday. We'll see if that happens. But yeah, so they're way more expensive. I don't think they actually have as much tensile strength. Like when I read up on the comparison, the biggest, baddest Cherry Max rivet, the 4-8, has a tensile strength of like 600 or 700 pounds, and the normal rivet is like whatchamacallit, 25,000 psi. Now I'm assuming that pounds on Cherry Max and pounds for or psi are equivalent. If not, then I might be mistaken. Anyway, one rivet's not going to make all the difference here because it's just holding the bracket on there, and there's 8 other rivets holding it on. So I feel good in that decision. We'll see how that goes when the rivets actually arrive. And if that doesn't work, then my only other option is to drill out the rivets attaching the cover rib to the bulkhead and take it off, and then rivet the bracket onto the rib, and then rivet the rib back onto the bulkhead. So I want to avoid that if possible. Alright, let's see, other updates. I gave up on my 1X gun that I got because I had a super hard time finding retainer springs for it. It's some weird size that I already bought like 4 or 5 different retainer springs from different vendors, and only one of them was the right size. And the specifications on retainer springs, like they say this fits this gun, but it doesn't actually say what size it is, so it's super hard to find. So I gave up and I just ordered a 2X gun from Spruce, and I wish I could get that 1X gun to work because it actually is super skinny and would fit very well into tight spaces. So maybe that's a future project. Maybe I'll find the magical retainer spring store where I can just try all the different retainer springs and find it. The one I need is the quick change one. I found the beehive one, but that doesn't work because I can't put flat sets in it. So I need the quick change one. I ordered the one that's specified to that gun, and it showed up and wasn't the right one. So anyway, I've probably spent enough on retainer springs to actually buy a new gun, which is why I bought the 2X gun. I figured I'm going to be done with this. I'll just go with the 2X gun and try that. And, but I'm still on that one stupid rivet that I'm trying to hammer out. And the hammering out's really hard because there's really limited space to swing the hammer and get force on it to knock that thing out. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that the Cherry Max rivet works, because I already wasted probably 3 hours on this. And that's how it goes. You'll get stuck and you'll spend hours on one stupid little rivet. So 1, read the plans, do them in order, and 2, think ahead, I guess. Anyway, if you want to chat RVs or share wall of shame pics, I should take a picture of that rivet. Come join our Slack group. Link is in the description. See you next time.